Picture this. You wake up, open your laptop, and your entire creative team is already working. One assistant remembers every video you have ever posted. Another has just finished a full competitive breakdown of your biggest rival. A third has built a working app prototype while you slept. None of them are human. This is the real AI playbook a seven-figure founder with 1.5 million followers uses every single week. This is not a theory thread or a hype reel. It is a practical stack that Riley Brown uses to run a seven-figure startup and feed 1.5 million followers with constant content. Over the next few minutes, we are going to walk through how he gets 50 different AI use cases out of just a handful of core tools. And here is the twist. If you understand the patterns behind his workflow, you can copy the strategy even if you have no team and no coding skills. Let us start with the quiet revolution: memory. Old school chatbots are like goldfish. You ask a question, get an answer, and everything you said vanishes. Riley flips that model. He uses persistent AI with memory so Claude can remember his goals, his brand, his audience, and his past experiments across hundreds of messages. Suddenly, you are not chatting with a search box. You are building a relationship with a creative partner that actually remembers what you care about. Here is how that looks in practice. Instead of saying, "Give me video ideas," Riley tells Claude, "Use memory of our past conversations to come up with specific ideas just for me." Claude digs through old chats, sees that he already tested topics like AI for solopreneurs and AI for agencies, and then proposes new angles that build on what worked, not random trends. In a minute, we will see why this matters for multi-month launches, but first, you need to see how he sets this up. Riley creates a dedicated Claude project just for content strategy. Into the project instructions, he pastes past scripts, hooks, thumbnails, and notes on what performed. He labels his niche, audience size, and platforms, then explicitly tells Claude, "Store these as reference for future content planning." From that point on, every new chat in that project inherits the same creative DNA. The system remembers when he says, "This hook is too clickbaity," and it stops making that mistake. Now zoom out. Imagine a multi-episode series, a multi-month product launch, or a cross-platform brand. Normally, consistency of tone and messaging depends on your own memory or a giant style guide nobody reads. With memory-aware projects, that consistency lives inside the model. The stakes are high here. Whoever builds the best long-term memory with their AI will own the most coherent story across YouTube, newsletters, and products. But remembering your own work is only half the game. Riley also treats Claude as a full-time research analyst. Traditional search engines give you blue links and affiliate spam when you ask for the best camera for YouTube. Deep research models read reviews, forum threads, spec sheets, and creator breakdowns, then hand you a ranked shortlist with trade-offs and edge cases. It is less like search and more like hiring a junior analyst who never sleeps. Riley shows this when he tells Claude, "Look at Matt Wolf's recent videos and things he has talked about, and come up with ideas for videos that I would also be good at making." Claude does not just hit YouTube. It sweeps blogs, social posts, video descriptions, and more to map the entire content universe. Now imagine pointing that same workflow at your top competitor. This is where the playbook turns into real competitive intelligence. You feed the assistant their last 100 YouTube uploads, their top 50 posts on X, their newsletter archives, and their landing pages. In return, you get a cohesive brief: content pillars, posting cadence, thumbnail patterns, hook formulas, and monetization angles. Modern tools even show their work, listing sources, timestamps, and a reasoning trace. In a world where everyone can ask questions, the edge goes to the people who can audit the answers and see exactly how the model thinks. Next, style. Most tools treat style like a vibe slider: formal or casual, short or long. Riley cannot afford that. When you speak to 1.5 million people, your voice is your brand. So he uses Claude projects as a house style engine. He pastes in a winning YouTube intro or landing page and annotates it. Use this cadence, this energy, this sentence structure, but never reuse the exact phrases or topics. From then on, every script in that project inherits the same hype educator tone. Ask for a 45-second TikTok, a 1,200-word newsletter, or a call to action heavy landing page, and they all feel like the same person speaking. This kills the constant rewrite step that usually happens when you hire junior editors or freelancers. And here's the part nobody talks about. Once your writing style is cloned, you can feed those scripts into custom voice text to speech so even synthetic audio sounds like you. Now let us jump from words to systems. Riley uses a combo like WhisperFlow plus Excalidraw to turn spoken ideas into flowcharts in seconds. He can walk around, talk through a product funnel or a course outline, and the transcript gets parsed into nodes and arrows on a canvas. Paste a simple bullet list, and Excalidraw's AI auto generates a labeled flowchart with group stages and color-coded blocks. In a minute, we will connect this to how bigger teams document everything without more meetings. For content creators with audiences from 100,000 to 1.5 million, this is a planning superpower. You can outline a 10-part video series by voice, then instantly see gaps and weak calls to action in a branching map. Educators can talk through a semester and get visual maps for students who think in diagrams, not paragraphs. Inside a business, founders can narrate support playbooks or sales processes and get standardized diagrams for onboarding and investor decks in minutes. But what about actually building things? Riley treats Gemini 3, wired into a terminal like Warp, as a one-prompt micro-developer. He types a plain English request, and Gemini responds with a complete front-end project: HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and all the glue to make it run in the browser. No build tools, no frameworks. He asks for a simple Pokemon-style game, and in under a minute he has a playable prototype that would normally take a weekend tutorial. Then he pushes it further. A second prompt spins up a water cycle simulation with animated evaporation and condensation. Another creates a pizza shop landing page with a hero banner, menu grid, testimonials, and a call to action button. Colors, copy, and layout all respond to edits like make it more premium or add late night delivery messaging. The wild part is that he runs all three builds in parallel from the same environment, never switching into developer mode. This does not replace engineers, but it radically changes who gets to ship the first version. A solo creator can now validate game mechanics, classroom tools, and niche landing pages in a single afternoon. In business terms, that means faster experiments, cheaper prototypes, and more shots on goal. The people who learn to talk to these micro developers will out-iterate competitors still waiting on traditional dev cycles. Now, let us shift from code to pixels. Image AI is no longer just make me a cool picture. It is about precise editing of what already works. Riley treats AI-generated scenes like layered design files. He can freeze a character's pose and lighting, then say, put her in a neon-lit Tokyo alley at night. Same camera angle, same expression. In painting and outpainting handle the rest while preserving identity and style. For YouTube growth, this becomes a thumbnail cheat code. Say you have a layout that performs, but the collaborator changed. You mask just the silhouette. Describe a new cartoon robot co-host, glossy 3D, same framing, and the model paints it in without touching your text. Instead of designing 10 thumbnails from scratch, you design one winner and generate variants with different outfits, backgrounds, or secondary characters in minutes. Different tools slot into different levels of control. Photoshop Generative Fill shines for small photoreal tweaks. Dedicated sites like Korea lean into bold, stylized edits for shorts covers and social banners. And if you are technical, open source pipelines using vision models let you script region detection, masking, and batch edits so hundreds of assets update from a single prompt. The pattern is clear. Design is turning from manual pixel, pushing into system-level direction. Put all of this together, and you get Riley's real secret, an AI-augmented workflow that never turns off. Memory projects keep his brand consistent. Deep research scouts the landscape. Style cloning and voice synthesis keep everything on message. Voice-to-flowchart tools turn messy ideas into clear systems. And micro developers ship prototypes before the competition even schedules a meeting. This is not a future trend. It is how a seven-figure creator operates today. So here is the question for you. Are you still using AI like a fancy search bar, or are you building a stack that remembers, reasons, designs, and ships with you? The gap between those two mindsets is where the next wave of seven-figure creators and lean startups will come from. If you want a deeper breakdown of specific prompts and tool setups, tell me in the comments, and I will make a part 2 that walks through real workflows step by step. Hit subscribe so you do not miss it, because this playbook is evolving faster than most people realize.